Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
If you like multi-man matches, we're going to about to hear a lot of them because it's time to review this week's AEW Rampage. From New Orleans, Louisiana, on tap for AEW Rampage this week was a World Tag Team Championship Eliminator with Ricky Starks and Big Bill against the Dark Order. We had Willow Nightingale versus the ever-impressive Queen Aminata. Angelo Parker, Matt Menard, and Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels took on the CML guys, and this is where I really need Dave. Hechicero, Mascara, Dorado, Mistico, and Volador Jr. Yes. Private Party and Top Flight. And that is where we start with a wicked high-flying encounter from Top Flight with Action Andretti, actually, and Private Party. This is going to be a fantastic start to Rampage. Really high-flying, fast-moving match where the half Nelson sit out side effect from Dante, yes, of Top Flight picks up the 1-2-3, and they pick a win over Private Party. Want to see? Looks like we've seen a lot of these combinations of these guys before, but I think we're going to see a third match soon enough, and that ain't going to be the end of the world. These guys can go, and I really loved it. As I said, really high-paced or high-moved, fast-paced encounter. The only thing I would say is having this on a match when you've got three other matches in a 1 hour show. I've said this before with AEW, less can sometimes be more. And I think with Rampage, and they do a good job of separating it from the likes of Dynamite and Collision, but sometimes just do a 3-match show and give one match an extra 5 minutes, or give them more an extra couple of minutes, because it's those couple of minutes that could make a better showing or a better match out of them all. So that match is done. Sammy Guevara is medically cleared again, and he's going for Will Hobbs and Don Callis. So we'll see where that goes. Now, Ricky Starks, Big Bill, the Dark Order in a championship eliminator. This was Alex Silver and Reynolds. It was a glorified squash. It didn't get given too long, and I've kind of already hinted, less is more. One of these matches could have been gone somewhere else, and you could have had it in these other matches longer. Rochambeau from Ricky Starks does it. Dark Order got some of their offense in. But I mean, realistically, Big Bill and Ricky Starks did make quick work of them. Again, I echo what I said a minute ago with the first match. Could have easily had been moved to give this match more time, or vice versa. Basically, Don Callis and Will Hobbs welcome Guevara back, or being hunt, really. And Hobbs has a family too, and he's got to feed them. So that's going to be a match coming down the line on this one. Willow Nightingale was with Statlander and Stokely Hathaway versus Queen Aminata. Again, this was a nice match, and yet another strong showing by Queen Aminata. She missed a hip attack in the corner, which Willow responded by the cannonball and then a Death Valley driver, and then the powerbomb finishes it, and went for the win for Willow. So again, like to see Queen Animator get a victory now. I think she's done this long enough. She's been jobbing out, but looking good in a defeat for a good number of weeks now. And I think we need to see more of it, more of her, but some wins, get her way up the ranking system that is now changed. But again, Rampage is having its own separate storylines with the Willow and Stokely and Chris Statlander on this. So very good, and that carries on with that. Orange Cassidy was backstage and best friends. He's asked for the time because he knows Undisputed Kingdom will show up in 3, 2, 1. Boom. And Adam Cole did challenge Orange Cassidy, Trent, and Rocky Romero for Rampage next week, which again, something a bit different. Nice. Breaks away from what we've been seeing on Dynamite and Collision. So very good. And yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm looking forward to seeing that next week. So that'll be Wardlow, supposed to Kingdom, perhaps. We'll see. We will see. And then Renee was back with Willow Nightingale and company, but it doesn't last because Soraya's crew shows up as well. Stokely gets bitten on a hand, and we've got a 6-person tag next week there. So again, interesting. A 6-person tag. So a couple more tag matches been announced now for next week. If you're Tony Khan now, you've announced 2 matches. One more, and give those matches 10, 12 minutes each and let them go. I think it would be a lot better if, unless you try and squeeze another, match 4 and 5 on it, and it just takes too long. And then, yeah, it wouldn't be too. It would be too bad if you didn't do that. But anyway, the main event of the evening was Menard, Parker, Daniels, and Sydal versus the guys from CMLL, Mascara, Dorado, Volador, Hechicero, and Mistico. What do you think happened in this match, guys? Of course, you've got 4 guys from CMLL, so you know what's going on. It's flying around all over the place. Which actually, and it was a good introduction to these guys of CMLL, and they got their offensive in a little bit, and a little bit of their personality. But given the time constraints, again, this could have gone longer, and maybe should have gone longer. Nevertheless, the CMLL guys pick up the victory as Hechicero rolls up Danielson into full circle and locks him in for the pin. So they pick up the victory, the CMLL guys. But again, like I said, 4 matches on a 1-hour show, unfortunately doesn't work. I think in NWA, because they've had, I review NWA, or we used to review NWA with Fiona until NWA decided not to allow us in the UK to watch their shows anymore. They used to do sort of 3 or 4 shows in 1 hour, but it used to be, I suppose, the storyline ways, and it's just different to AEW. And this is not a slagging off AEW, but you've got different stars on the show that actually could have done with those minutes, whereas NWA get away with it a little bit on their shows because they give the matches that they need. The matches that need time get time, whereas AEW, it just feels like a rush on this. But nevertheless, I do like this one. It's a fun show. Good build for Starks and Bill for next week this week against Sting and Darby. We got introduced to the CMLL guys, and we got some more matches for this week's shows. So all in all, 7 out of 10. Really, really, really fun and enjoyable show. Just wish sometimes scrap a match, have 3, give that the time, put that other match on in the following week, and just make more of it. But that, guys, was the Rampage review show on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Do not forget to go onto our socials at HTT Buckle on X and Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast on all other platforms. We'll be back with Collision. We'll be back with everything else as we normally are, and interviewing Alex Windsor and Mike Angus this week as well. Until then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe.